Hello and good morning everybody. This is Mahadev again from the Discus and Cockatiel Den. I'm really happy today to take you all through my Discus Den for the very first time. What you see here is the Discus Den. This is my farm and I have all the major strains of discus fishes right now in my farm. So this place that I'm showing you right now, it took me a really long time. Every single plank of wood and every single steel fish tank, the fishes that I have added in this room took me a lot of time, and it was a very gradual and a very difficult process for me. It took me like almost a year for me to it took me like 3 months in the place and to set everything up to keep the thing. Discus fishes that I have bred myself, these are the children of white butterfly and yellow. These are F1, and yeah, these are like almost 2.75 to 3 inch in size right now. Next up we have the children of red cover blue rim and tiger turquoise. So you could see of the fishes. Over here I have a lot of tigers, red and blue tigers. These guys are really jumbo sized fishes. They are close to 6 inches in size. I've been having them for like 3 months now. And these guys, they are with me. They were born last year around October, November time. Pretty much these guys are also somewhere during the same timeline. These are assorted mix of red cover and blue rim, and you have a couple of wild crosses, right, and a wild curipara here. Moving on, we have blue diamonds with the size of roughly around 3 to 3.25 inches, and then we have leopards which are around 3.3 to 3.5 inches again. This is an assorted mix of leopards and eruptions. The tank right now is looking very cloudy, and there is you will see a lot of speckles inside the tank. That's because I have kind of cleaned all the algae and biofilm that's stuck on the corners of the tank and did a lot of water changes, but it's just, it's a little unsettled. So let's move on. Moving on, we have the white face red mandarins or red melons. These guys are very active. All of these fishes are, you slowly see them reacting to my finger. They're always on the lookout for food and very active. Every single one in this discus den that you see, every single fish here is active and they are willing to take pellet food. And these are the different types of pellet food. I give them tetrabids, intan, foxworms, and I give Serra to the yellow-based fishes. So, because yellow-based fishes are very vulnerable towards turning into orange with all this astaxanthin-induced foods like tetrabids and stuff. So I give yellow fishes on and only Serra, and occasionally I give treats. I treat them with the Australian blackworms. Moving on, we have the yellow diamonds. I'm so sorry, these are not yellow diamonds, these are albino golds, or you could call yellow millennium gold or something like that. Yeah. What's so special about these fishes is they have a yellow body, but their rims will be very transparent or whitish yellow, you could say. These are not the typical yellow diamonds that you see in the hobby. Okay, and these are all, I would say, slightly B-grade fishes, and the ones that I have grown, I haven't really achieved a lot of success here. If you can see, it's been roughly 7 to 8 months, and I have hardly been able to raise them to 3.5, maximum 3.5. The average is like 2.5 to 2.75. That's how much I could do with the water conditions in my farm and with Chennai water. But yeah, I'm learning. I'm slowly learning every single day. I think I'm learning a new knack. So let's see, hopefully the next batch will become bigger in a shorter time frame. Over here, I have the imported Malaysian and Indonesian fishes. These are the super red rafflesias and vertical tiger turquoises. Couple of them are already becoming, or pair formation is happening for a couple of fishes. I see them doing the typical discus ritual and all every now and then. Again, they are very active in nature. See them, they are very friendly. And these are the white butterflies I have in my farm. These are all roughly around 3 inches or maybe 2.75 inches in size. Yeah. So yeah, I mean, this is for a change. I wanted to make a video of my Discus Den because I mean, I wanted to give a little bit of a change, especially I know I have been making a lot of videos in my breeding balcony, but this is something that's been happening. I've been whipping up for like last few months this year, and I'm very happy that things have settled down a little bit. Some of these fishes have gone through a lot of setbacks in this farm itself. I did a lot of experimentation with this water in this farm while shelter was being built and the racks were being built. I already bought some of these fishes and they were really doing well, along with me in, being able to survive and adjusting with the changes and stuff like that. So I'm so grateful for being really hardy, and at the same time I was very keen on making sure that the water parameters are always to the level, to the mark, top notch. That was one thing that I never compromised. I have maybe once or twice I would intentionally let them fast, or I have forgotten to feed, or I may not have time to feed, but then when it comes to water I always stick to the basics. And these guys, even though they have gone through being in the same place, going through this entire construction, and for this whole stuff to get streamlined, parallelly these guys were also growing. So really kudos to every single one of them here. I would have hardly lost one or two babies on the top during the process, but each one in this farm right now that I have is a real hardy. Yeah, there we go, and I'm so happy and fulfilled that I have finally been able to give you a quick walkthrough. So there's around 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 tanks to my left where I have B grade fishes. I wouldn't say these are B grade. If you look at some of these in the close-up, these would compete with imported strains. Yeah. Also look at the eruptions and leopards. These are really good quality, I would say. They're always willing to snack. You see the activeness. I never feed them BHM. Beef heart mix is something that I never introduce. I have trained them to eat pellet-based foods. Okay, so that it doesn't really become a challenging process while the fishes are transitioning in a customer's tank. And to my right I have a lot of empty tanks on the bottom, which I'm starting to, nitrogen cycle is kicking in, but in the meantime, yes, I do have quite a few imported fishes like super red rafflesias and vertical turquoises, and around 10 white butterflies, 3 inches in size. And of course I'm planning to sell a few driftwoods, and there are a few empty tanks that is for sale, and these are pretty much for me. This is the food that I feed. There is this Australian blackworms, Serra, Intan and tetrabits. And I always keep the Cecum paraguard, stress guard and replenish. Every now and then I keep them handy because I may need them. And there is also a prime over there and a couple of bottles of methylene blue. All of this I would have administered a few times for these babies because babies are a little vulnerable compared to the juvenile and adult discus fishes. But yeah, there we go. To be really honest with you, this is not the water condition or the fish tank's clarity would be slightly better than this, or there would be a huge difference from what you see in terms of clarity. But yeah, today is Sunday and I was really particular about cleaning off the gluey substance, the slimy substance that grows on the sides of the tank. So I kind of stripped them off, and it has really become cloudy, but that's okay. There you go for now, and everybody take care, and don't forget to keep swimming with us. Bye.